As a leader, how are you planning to use AI in 2026? And how are you planning not to use AI? Both of those things are important because AI is evolving very, very quickly, and there are so many ways that you can adopt it. But maybe you shouldn't do it all the time. And I'm going to tell you now one way that you can use AI, and you should, and another way that you can use AI, and you shouldn't. So to do that, let me tell you a short story that's going to take me on a trip down memory lane. This was 35 years ago. My very first job as a software developer. We were working for a company, I was working for a company that would then work for other companies, like mostly tech companies, and we would build software that would monitor their equipment, gather data from it, look for errors, report faults, and so on. My very first business trip was to Hong Kong, to a far corner of Hong Kong Island, because our customer had laid a cable between Hong Kong and Taiwan, and our software was monitoring the lasers in this cable. This was one of the earliest optical fiber cables that was carrying the early internet. So our software was looking for errors in the lasers, because an error could lead to a disaster. If there was a constant error with a particular laser and the laser failed, then perhaps it would mean that you'd have to send a ship out, drag for the cable at the bottom of the ocean, pull it up, break it, remove the laser, replace it with another one, fix it, and then drop it down again. Hundreds of thousands of dollars every time there was a major fault like that. So a customer was very, very keen to make sure that there were no errors. And the software that I wrote as part of this big system would gather the data, the lasers would send us data, and it would gather them hour by hour by hour for each of the lasers across from Hong Kong to Taiwan, and then present a report. And the report was basically like a matrix. Think of it like printing an Excel spreadsheet. So my software was really basic. All it was doing was taking information and printing it. And every day when the customer came in, the first thing he did after saying hello to me was to walk over to the printer and look at this report that my software printed out at midnight or 1 a.m. Overnight. And what he wanted to see was 0 errors through the whole report. So he just wanted to see a page full of zeros. If there was anything that wasn't a 0, in other words, there was an error or errors, then he was alerted. He'd have to tell his boss, they'd have to tell their boss, they'd decide what to do. It may not have required anything immediately, but they'd keep an eye on it for a few days and so on. So as it turned out, the simplest bit of software in the whole system, which was the report I wrote, was the thing that the customer cared most about. Okay, so what does this have to do with AI now? Now, that report, which 35 years ago was just a little printout on a dot matrix printer for people who know what that means, is now something that we'd call a dashboard. And now, somebody without even much technical skill can use AI to create a dashboard from some of their data in their system. It doesn't have to be data off equipment. It could be like safety data like that, or error data. It could also be things like a company looking at reviews, Google reviews and social media reviews, analyzing the sentiment in them and creating a dashboard showing the overall sentiment, how happy customers are with your company. It could be some data from some medical devices. It could be some data from some ongoing equipment monitoring. It could be data from something to do with HR processes and how often people are accessing documents or putting in requests and so on. And now it's not just gathering the data, but it's using AI to present that data in clever ways. Okay, and now you don't need a lot of technical skill to do that. Now AI has got to the point where it's very easy for people without technical skills to be able to generate those sort of reports, generate those sort of dashboards. You don't even need your IT staff to do that for you. So that's one use of AI that is possible now and can be done. And I reckon that's an area that you should be looking at. And the second point I want to make is that this data is being used for humans. These reports that are being generated are for humans to assess and then make decisions based on what they see. Exactly like 35 years ago, my customer was looking at this report, making sure that there were no errors, and if there were, then it would be humans, he and his bosses, who would be making decisions about what to do next. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because now AI has evolved to the point where you could actually create an autonomous agent to make decisions for you based on that data coming in. In other words, you don't need the dashboard. You just need the AI that's monitoring the data, gathering the results, but instead of showing them to you, it would make a decision on your behalf. So the extreme example would be the example that I told you, where the AI would then deploy a ship, maybe with human crew and other resources, to go out to the ocean and then pull out the cable and so on. Okay, but you don't want to use AI for that. Even for, let's take a simpler example, you could create an AI agent that would read the incoming email in your inbox and then could reply on your behalf. Bad idea. You don't want an AI agent to do that. What you might get it to do is read the incoming email, draft a reply, and keep it in the drafts folder for you then to review and then decide what to do with it. Maybe delete it, maybe you click send, or maybe more likely you'll edit it and adapt it before sending it out. Okay, so 2 capabilities of AI, one that you can and should use, one that you can and should not use. So one you can and should use is to use AI to create dashboards, to create reports, to create things that will help you make decisions. And the one that you should not use is AI agents that will make the decisions for you. Now look, if I'm telling you this in 3 years' time, things might have changed. And there may be things now where, in that time, where AI is good enough that you can let agents make some more important decisions on your behalf. But for now, use AI to give you information that will help you make decisions, and then don't make the decision, don't let AI make those decisions for you. Make the decisions yourself, applying your human intelligence to the artificial intelligence. If you'd like to know more about this, I'm running an online presentation very soon about AI for leaders in 2026. These are 2 of the things that I'll talk about. For others, you'll find the registration link here. Please register. It's free, it's public, it's open to everybody. And please invite others in your team and your network as well. I'll see you in the future.